Justin in Alabama says that you're an average working class guy. I do believe there could be God or gods, but I don't think that the gods of specific religions are real. Hi, Justin. You're talking to Jenna and Jim.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm curious if we can get right down to the nitty gritty. If we can talk about why you think that could be anything, like whether you define it as a god or, energy. I'm just curious what you think is there and why.
Well, to be honest with you, the reason why I think there could be beings in the universe or multiverse or whatever you believe we live in, I mean, let me try and get my words together because I'm trying to be as quick as possible on this. The universe as we know it is very, very massive. And to think that we are the only creatures living in it, the only intelligent creatures living in it, is the height of human hubris or arrogance or whatever you want to call it. And personally, I believe that in addition to possible life forms similar to us existing somewhere else in our universe, there could be creatures living out there that are so far beyond us, evolutionary-wise speaking, that to us they would seem like ancient gods.
So if there were these things, let's say there are creatures out in the universe that, let's call them aliens. What does that imply about a god or something like that?
I'm saying that the way they look, and physiologically speaking, energy beings, if you will, that is something that we could possibly misrepresent or misinterpret as being something similar to a god. Because, you take your typical average deity, let's use the...
let's use yours. Let's use the one that you think exists, that you think must be there, the implied.
Okay. I'm thinking of similar beings, kind of like are y'all Star Trek fans?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I wish I was more. But
okay.
Yes.
Okay, you remember the Q continuum?
Yep.
I'm not that much of a fan.
They were aliens.
Okay.
Yeah, they were aliens, but the way that they looked and the abilities they had, they could be called gods, if you will.
But why would we?
But what? Yeah, exactly. Why would we?
Well, because of their abilities to teleport wherever they want to, the abilities to manipulate time and space to their will.
What's a god? What's a god? Is it just somebody with magic powers?
I'd say it is a creature that is higher, that has more abilities than we do.
Wow, I would say there's a lot of creatures that have more abilities than we do, and I don't call them gods.
I'm not talking about physiological creatures like us. I'm talking about something that we would call a spirit being, creatures that are pure energy, if you will.
What? Okay.
Do you know? But how do you know these?
We haven't run across anything like that yet.
Can I ask you a question real quick? What is the difference between possible and probable?
Possible and probable.
What's the difference between them?
To be honest with you, sir, I don't know.
Well, I have a good working definition. It is possible that pigs could come flying out of my backside at any moment, but I'm not going to be wearing pigsty underwear anytime soon, just on that possibility, because it's not probable, right? Probable is something I can actually put a number on, or I can be somewhat fuzzy with it and say highly probable, barely probable, not probable, some fuzzy words like that around that word probable that kind of indicate a number range to different number ranges of different people. Possible is, well, it's anything, right? It's possible the sun could go out tomorrow, and some physicists somewhere can compute the probability of that being so close to zero that it doesn't really matter, maybe, or whatever the probability actually is. So just because it's possible that there are spirit energy beings out there does not necessarily mean that it is probable that they exist. So, because we don't know what the probability of that is. We don't even know how to calculate the number. So the probability is, I have no idea. The possibility is, sure, it's possible. But should we base a system of beliefs, or should we base decisions on things that are possible or things that are probable?
No, certainly not. I mean, no. I mean,
Okay.
that's why I stand against organized religion. I mean, I don't agree with any organized religion. The reason being is because I believe in personal freedom, liberty, and independence.
Well, what does that have to do with my question?
Oh, absolutely nothing. I completely agree with you.
Okay.
But when you were talking about religion and everything, that kind of hit a trigger for me. I'm sorry.
So your definition of God or gods or the probability really doesn't make any difference to anything, right? It's just an interesting thing to talk about.
Not really.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah,
I agree. So anyway, we don't really have time to talk about. Yeah, we don't have time in their show to talk about things that are interesting to talk about, no matter how much I want to talk about them. But we do have forums, the Atheist Community of Discord, both of our Facebook groups. More than happy to talk about all that kind of stuff with you.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
You guys have a wonderful day.
You too.